Hello everybody, how are you? Hello everybody, how are you? It is time to start our day. It is time to work and play. Hello everybody, how are you? Hi guys, welcome back for another day. It's Friday and today we're going to read an old classic book about a winter story and it is called The Hat. Let me show it to you. Maybe you've read The Mitten. That's another one that goes along with this. It's by an author named Jan Brett, and she has many, many, many good books. At Christmas time, you might have read her story about the gingerbread baby. She has one of those. She's got a lot of neat things, and one of the things I like about her books is she gives you extra pictures on each page with some clues about what's coming up and maybe what's going on in parts of the story we can't see. So as we're reading the story today, I want you to look. Let me give you a sneak peek. Let's just pick a page here. Okay, this is a page that's coming up in our story. What I want you to notice is that in the center of the book, that's the part of the story I'm going to be reading about. But if you look over here on this side, it's going to show you what our main character, Lisa, is doing while we're talking about this. She's going to be doing other things. So you can look at this picture. If you look over here, you get to see what's coming up next in the story. This picture right there gives you a hint of what's going to happen on the next page. So as I'm reading, I'd like you to be looking at all the pictures, not just the one in the middle. Now, before we begin, as I said, this book was written by a lady named Jan Brett. And she has beautiful illustrations, beautiful pictures that she has in her books. And I want you to take a good look at the one on the cover here. Look at all the different creatures. Can you say who you see in this book? Who are going to be our characters? Who's going to be in this book with us? We have, down here we have a dog. Above him is a goose, but he's not just any goose, he's a male goose. So in the book he's called a gander. A gander is a boy or a male goose. So when I say gander, that's who I'm talking about. Over here on the fence is a rooster, the mommy chicken. Next to her is a pony. Then we have a pig and a cat clinging to that tree. Now right in the middle, does anybody know what kind of animal that is? That's called a hedgehog. And he's got something really silly on his head, doesn't he? The book is called The Hat, and you put a hat on your head. But look closely. Does that look like a hat? Let's read and find out what it was. Remember, as I'm reading, you're going to look on one side for clues to the next page, and you're going to look on the other side to find out what Lisa, who is our other character, is doing. Let's start right at the very first, the title page, this is called. We see kind of a farmhouse here and a pair of socks. And then over in this picture, I see a hat, which makes sense because, again, the book is called The Hat. All right, let's find out what happens. I am going to use my glasses today so I can make sure I read this to you properly. Can you see the pictures? Winter was on the way. Lisa took her woolen clothes out of the chest and carried them outside. She's got her woolen clothes because those help keep you warmer in the wintertime. She was hanging them up in the fresh air when a strong wind blew one of her stockings off the line. So let's take a peek. Here's a basket with some of her clothes hanging in it, and then there's that hedgehog we talked about, and he is the one that's giving us a sneak preview of what's coming up on the next page. Let's see. Curious Hedgie found it and poked his nose in. When he pulled it out, the stocking was stuck on his prickles. What's a prickle, guys? What do you think that means? Those are the spiky things that he has on his backside here. And the stocking got stuck to it. How embarrassing, Hedgie thought. The mother hen came by with her chicks. Cackle, cackle, she clucked and laughed. What's that on your head, Hedgie? Why, it's my new hat, he told her. Isn't it beautiful? The mother hen cocked her head as if she had an idea, and off she ran. Who's going to be on the next page? Can you tell by the clue? There's that gander, the boy goose. Hedgie saw the noisy gander looking down at him. Honk, honk, ho, 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 the gander laughed. Look at that. The hedgehog has flipped his gizzard. Laugh today, gander, but tomorrow when it rains, my hat will keep me dry. The gander thought for a moment, and off he ran. The barn cat was watching from a tree as Hedgie tugged at the stocking. Meow, he called down. What a silly-looking hedgehog you are with that thing on your head. But my ears will be warm in a snowstorm. Purred the cat, and off he ran. Is anybody looking at the clothesline up here too and watching the clothes up there? Maybe there's something that's going to happen with that. Looks like less. The farm dog and her puppies found Hedgie in a patch of brambles. This is a bramble. It's a thorny bush. Hedgie, is that a hat you're wearing? How funny you look, she barked, and her puppies yelped and giggled. But I'll be cozy and dry when it snows, Hedgie said. The farm dog's ears perked up, and off she ran. I think something else is missing. Oink, oink, the piglet squealed. What are you up to, Hedgie? The mama pig asked. Making sure my hat doesn't fall off if an icy wind blows up. I see, said the mama pig, and off she ran. Hedgie, what's that ridiculous thing on your head? The pony snorted at Hedgie. That was the last straw. It's my hat, of course. Don't you know that everyone should wear a hat in winter when it's cold and snowy? Hedgie shouted. The pony looked startled. Hedgie was usually so friendly. And off he ran. Oh, who's coming next? I don't see another animal. This time I see Lisa. Hedgie just wanted to be alone. He was tired of everyone laughing at him. And with this thing on his head, he wouldn't even fit into his den. Oh, look at the clothesline. Where did everything go? He didn't see Lisa running after him, the other stocking in her hand. Come back, you silly hedgehog, she called. Oh no, Hedgie thought. Even the girl is laughing at me. Lisa caught up and pulled her stocking off Hedgie's head. You ridiculous little hedgehog, she laughed. Don't you know that animals don't wear clothes? Hedgie headed for his den, and Lisa started back toward the clothesline. That's when she saw all of her missing woolens. Everything was gone. Oh, the animals had taken them, and each one was thinking, now I am wearing a magnificent hat. Let's see, we've got Rooster with a glove on his hat and his back tail. Gander actually has a hat on. We've got Kitty Cat wearing, I'm not sure what that is, maybe a scarf. Puppy Dog is wearing a sweater. The pig is wearing a vest. And the pony is wearing pants on his head. They all thought they had hats on. Lisa was still chasing them when Hedgie reached his den. How ridiculous they look. Don't they know that animals should never wear clothes? Okay, did you catch all of the clues in that book, all the different pictures that we had to look at? I hope you had a chance to see everything because there's some really good information, good clues for us. So Lisa, the book started with Lisa taking her winter clothes out of her chest, it's kind of like a container, a box that she had them in, and she hung them up to air them out. So she had a sweater, a hat, a vest, a scarf, some gloves, and some pants, and she had a pair of stockings. Now, Hedgie came along, and what happened? He got that hat stuck to his head, didn't he? Because he has those pricklies on him. Let's make a hedgehog together. I have some Play-Doh. Let me lift it up so you can see it. I have some Play-Doh here. Let's see. Here's my Play-Doh. Right now it's just a ball. And I'm going to turn it into a hedgehog. What shape was Hedgie? Do you remember? Was he square, a rectangle, a circle? I would call him more of an oval. That means he was kind of a stretched out circle. So I'm going to roll my Play-Doh, make it into a ball first, and then I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. There, how about that? That looks like about the size of a hedgehog, but it doesn't look like much of a hedgehog yet, does it? He needs some things. He needs some eyes. So I have my bag of googly eyes. Let me give him a couple. Let's see, Hedgie, you need one more eye, and 2 eyes. If you have some Play-Doh at home, you can make a hedgehog with me. There is his eyes. Let's see, he's missing some ears. I thought that this looked like the good shape of an ear. I have a pine cone, and I want to see if maybe I can take off. Oh, I sure can. Let me break off one of the pine cone pieces here. That makes a nice ear for my Hedgie. Let me get another one because he needs 2 ears, of course. All right, Hedgie, here's your other ear. But he's missing the most important thing. He has his eyes, he has his ears. What's he missing? What does a hedgehog have that's really important? He's missing his spikes, isn't he? Now I've got a few different things to try to make spikes out of him. You ready? This one I think is my most favorite, funnest one. Spaghetti noodles. Those are really big spikes. So I'm going to break them in half. And I'm going to take them And I'm going to stick them into my hedgie. Look at that. They stick right into the Play-Doh, and now my hedgie has spikes. Now, if you don't have spaghetti noodles at home, if you can't use spaghetti noodles, I also have toothpicks. I can put those in there, and those can be some of his spikes. If you don't have toothpicks, there's one other thing I have. I have pipe cleaners. I can put that in there. But that, again, would be too long, so I'm going to take it, and I'm going to cut it, and then I can stick that in there. Here's my hedgehog. You can make one today too, out of Play-Doh, out of construction paper. What else do you have? What can you make your hedgehog out of? This is what I made mine out of. Let's take a moment. Oh, you know what he doesn't have? He doesn't have his hat. Let's put his hat on him. Let's get that in there. Now I have my hedgie from the story. There he is. Let's take a peek at a real hedgehog. Let me put my hedgie aside, and you can take a peek with me. Look at this real hedgehog. Take a second and look at him and see, does he look like mine? Let's compare. Well, the one in the picture is missing the hat, isn't he? But he's got his spikes, he's got his eyes, he's got his little ears. I don't have a nose on mine. I'd have to give mine a nose to look like him. Hedgehogs have long noses. They have long snouts. And that's important for them because they don't see very well. So they use their snout, their sense of smell, and their sense of hearing to do their hunting. Now, here's a really cool fact about a hedgehog. When they get scared, when there's a predator coming for them, what they do is they take their body with all the spikes on the outside and they curl up back into a ball. So then there's just nothing but spikes here. So when somebody tries to attack, they get poked with the spikes. Something else that's interesting about hedgehogs is they're nocturnal. Does anybody know what that means? That means that they are up at nighttime. When we're sleeping, they're awake. They come out at nighttime. One more interesting fact about a hedgehog. Some of them, but not all of them, hibernate in the wintertime. I thought what was interesting about that is they don't all do it. I would think if hedgehogs hibernate, they all hibernate, but only some do. So that means that they sleep in the wintertime. They get their rest. So today, boys and girls, you can go out on, you can have your grown-up go out onto Pinterest. I've got a whole bunch of hat activities out there that you can check out. You can make your own hedgehog out of Play-Doh or whatever else you have. You can make a hat. You can try on different things in your house to see if they would work as a hat. Try on a sweater, see if it would work as a hat. Try on some pants, see if they would work as a hat. And just go and enjoy your day and your weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye, everybody.